Hey everyone, I'm popping on here for the Summer Wells Live questions for the public. I am very late. I apologize. My husband and I have been working really hard, mostly my husband, to get this space set up. You might hear some noise in the background. I am in my office space in my basement. So you're going to hear some background noise, probably my Doberman, probably, my heating system kicking off and on. But this is my new space. No more car. I'll be waiting for a few people to pop on, and then we'll get to some questions. This is for, hi everyone, Christy, hey, Jesse, Jenny. This is for subscribers right now to see how we go. Any negative people will be blocked and banned. Hi, Charity. Hi, Lisa. So this is a different setup. I'm not sure if you guys are used to seeing so much light. I am. If it's too bright, let me know. I'll dim down some of the lights. Ashley, hey. I think that light is actually better. This is actually, as you can see, my backdrop to my new podcast coming up I had made. Hello, Beth. Nikki Poo, hey. I am just trying to see what this lighting is like. This is new, so just bear with me for a few minutes. Mysterious True Crime, hi. I wanted to have it a little bit brighter. Okay, is that a little bit too bright, or should we dim it down? Let me know. Yes or no. Too bright, or I don't want it to be so bright for you that you won't be able to, better. I think this is better. So as you can see, I wrote down quite a few questions. I don't know if you guys can see them because my lights are so bright. You guys are so used to me seeing me in the dark. Now it's really light. Last one is better. So let's see, Lisa. Let's see. You guys let me know. This? Your face looks washed out. Okay. So I'm thinking maybe just leave it as is. Yeah, I see what you're saying. The lighting is pretty out there. Sorry, this is new, for just bear with me, okay? I want to make sure that better. I feel like we need it a little bit darker so we can have a better space. That. Okay. This is an extra light just in case we need more light. As you can see, there is a lot of questions I've written down from the public for the live tonight. These will be in live questions to Summer, but most likely her aunt will be answering them because she's the only one that's been working me at this time. Summer just likes to come and play. She does not like to really give me too much of an answer. So I let her have that. That's the only thing that is keeping her balanced at the time. So I'm going to leave it at that. So I'm going to let her stay in that state of mind. Okay, that's better. I was thinking the more light, the better. So I'm going to wait for a few more people to pop on. We've got almost 20 people so far. Ashley 87, honey, I had a lot of people saying they don't know how to join my memberships. So my husband is actually a big helper in this. I give him so much credit because he's helping me do all of this. And without him, I probably couldn't even be in this space tonight. You're going to go on your desktop or even from an iPhone. maybe I can show you on my phone to be exact. You're going to go to your Safari. If you have Safari on your phone, you're going to type in YouTube. You're going to hit my name. Let's see if I can help you out here, because a lot of people don't know how to do it, I think, still. So I'm actually going to do this example so everybody can see how to do it if they don't have a desktop. So just give me one moment. Bear with me. So you're going to go to your Safari. You're going to type in my page on YouTube. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anyone's chats. You have to bear with me tonight because my glasses broke tonight. So I'm winging it. So you're going to type in type that in, and then you're going to go to the YouTube, and then you're going to go to the search bar. It's going to have the two little AA icons, and there's going to be a drop down box, and it's going to ask you what membership you want to join. It's a lot easier than I thought, so it's not really that hard. If not, Ashley, if you're on my Facebook, I mean, we could do a chat as well to do it as well. Because if you don't want to do, we could do a private chat as well on there. A couple more people, and then I'll start getting into things. I'm very well prepared tonight, thank goodness. I'm looking for my drink, excuse me. If my cat gets on my desk, please just bear with me. He's always following me around. Chase, come here. Come on. You want to go? It's like a miserable little man. So this is going to be as you can see, that's going to be my upcoming podcast soon. I'm going to be recording for my new podcast. I have quite a few members that want to do interviews. So I will message you at the time of the interview. You just let me know when you're ready. As you can see, it's all set up here. It's all ready to go. So we are all set for that in itself. So let's get into Summer Wells. We have about 24 people on here so far and counting. So they'll catch up with us. I gave the public the opportunity to ask some questions in the Summer Wells case because I feel the public, I usually don't do this. The public knows. Hi, Sherry. Good evening, honey. I know we're late. Like I said, late in setting up my space. We've been working really hard to get things done. I gotta write some stuff down here. Sorry, I'm getting some things coming through here. I think this is Rose letting me know it's her. She's already speaking about Candace. I will actually just rip this out because what I'm going to be doing is I already have the numbers to my questions for the questions on here. Now, I did have some foolish person, I'll say it like that. Hi, Lava. Gina. Hi from Massachusetts. I did have some person go on my live and say I wasn't writing anything down. She could see it through my glasses. Now, you all know when I do my lives and I do my videos, you know I write everything down, correct? Because not only do I show it in my video, everything I do, I write down. As you can see, that is so sloppy. That is me writing everything down at the time. So for that info, there it is for you, dear. What's the name again? When I did my live the other night, I kept hearing a name Grace. So I'm not too sure what this has to do with it, but I've heard it again just now. So I'll just write down what I hear, but I will also write down the answers to the questions that I ask. Yes, Rose, we are live. I know you're not used to this. She's asking me if we're live. Strangely, she's asking me if we're live. These are all the people on here, Rose. This is Rose Bly I'm speaking to, by the way. If you want to know who Rose is, this is Candace's sister. These are all the people here, Rose. And do I speak to spirits just like I speak to people? Absolutely, because I still feel they have a voice. That means they're able to speak back. Hi, Nikki. I'm not sure if anyone can find this out. What would a Grace have to do with a Candace? Is this a family member or hi? Excuse me, I have a lot of gadgets going off here. My iWatch, my phone, my laptop's over there, so I'm not used to having these many gadgets hooked up. So I want to get into the first question that I wrote down. So I'm going to read off some of the questions that I wrote down. This is going to be not just one. Hi, Midnight Baker. It's nice to meet you too. It's just not going to be just one live. It's going to be multiple because I have probably about well over 150 questions to ask. I did write down quite a few, as you can see, front and back in this live tonight. I will read to what I'm going to ask. The man that was watching her on the property, I'm going to ask who that was. Were you trafficked? Is Fred Hill guilty? Do I know who Fred Hill is? No, but the name Hill came to me and people assume it's a person by the name of Fred Hill. Now, I don't like to assume someone's guilty by the name that's given. In most of my cases, the names that are mentioned are involved in some way, in a roundabout way. That doesn't mean they're guilty, though. Okay. I don't give first and last names because that's also something that people can take too seriously and go harm somebody. No one is to do that on the account of my videos. Any name that I say, I'm going to give a first name and a last initial if possible. The name Andy, excuse me. Who was Andy and what was his involvement? Now, Lowell, I believe Lowell is a place possibly. The name Sean. Now, from the video that I was shown, Candace stated that summer was always cold, correct? And she stated it was hot outside. She had her zipped up completely in the vehicle. She had her laying on a bunch of jugs. So if she just got done, hi Dolly, how are you? If she just got done swimming, why would you have her? And it's 80 or so degrees. I believe they said 85 degrees. So it's a Tennessee hot, as they put it. Why would you have her completely zipped up in the heat and then have her laying on cold jugs if she hated the cold? If you knew that bothered her, why would you put her in cold jugs? Right on the cold jugs. Yes, Nikki. That's one of the questions that I want, that I thought it was important to ask. In viewing that video, I do believe in some way that she was drugged or on something that would have caused her to be so lifeless looking, if that makes sense. Now, the name Will, I'm confused on this because like I said, symbolization for me is big. So when I hear the name Will, I'm going to assume it's a name only if I hear Bill after that, because William and Bill are the same as Bill would be the nickname for William. So I didn't hear that. So I'm assuming this has to do with like a deed or a will of some sort being left to her, or Candace to be in the family. I kept getting a cave as well. So I'm going to be asking tonight, where is that cave located? Is it visible? What county is it in? What does the cave actually have to do with her disappearance? Just because I heard cave does not mean she's in a cave. It could be a sense of a circumference. So for me, I've gotten the barrel. The barrel was a wooden barrel. It was very distinctive looking. And most people were assuming I meant the barrel that must have been in one of those videos. No. I see a wooden barrel. That's what I'm going to say. I see. And then the barrel that I looked up, like I needed to know exactly what that barrel was and who uses those type of barrels. This would be a winery or someplace that makes alcohol. Now, when I see the train tracks that I see, underpass, I have to remember to keep my paper free to write all this down. The underpass, train tracks, but I also see as if I'm trying to make sure I'm keeping up with everybody joining. The underpass tracks. I'm gonna go through with what I'm hearing in a moment and writing down. Um, so there's a little water, looks like it's secreted to the area, like as if there's water around this area, as if it would have flooded and secreted outwards. So it's very visible. So the tracks, and then there's the rocks, and then there's water, as if the water would have come on. Hi, Gina. Um, Tennessee whiskey barrel. You know, as I stated, I was looking up to try to verify what whiskey barrel this is. If it's even a whiskey barrel, because a lot of people say, "Oh, that's a whiskey barrel you're talking about." I needed to see that for myself so I can know what I am referencing. And to me, this would be a winery or this would be a whiskey barrel. So it's a wooden barrel, very distinctive. It has the wood around it, and then it would have like wooden pieces down the side. Christina. Hi, Christine. I called you Christina. I'm sorry. um, I'm getting a bunch of different names here. This for me, when this happens, this is possibly a group, and this is all men I'm hearing. So for me, I'm going to ask what these people have to do with what I'm getting because I just have to do with anything. Wonder if they were making moonshine. I'm not sure, but where did the barrel come from? That's my question. It had to come from somewhere. So where did the barrel come from? Do they work at this place? Did they just find the barrel? Most people went, maybe those places threw them out. Does it mean that they got it from that actual place? No, it could have been just discarded and they found it and used it. Hi, Jazzy B. Moonshine's a good question, though, because that could be another thing. Does it have to be a whiskey barrel? No. But it looks to me like it would be a whiskey barrel or a wine barrel because that's how I see it. It's a very specially made, almost like an old fashioned. And there's loving my babies, my love. How are you, my sweetheart? Linda, how are you? Um, that was another question. Where was the barrel from? Where would it have been located from? As in, who made it? What location did it come from? How old is it? Does that matter? It's good to see you too. Um, what is around Summer's location? Are the men by the names of Andy, Fred, Frank involved? If so, how? And when I'm asked about Hunter, I will not bring up a minor's name in the video. I do believe that has to be between him and, I mean, you have to remember this is another person's child, so I won't put that in there unless something is said to me about it. Then I will use the letter H because I will not mention an underage person in my video. In the vision that I saw Summer after she was given, I saw her in Frozen sneakers, a red top, and some blue jeans. And someone asked, what store did they get the shoes from? So I'm going to be asking about that as well, because if there's a bill of sale, but then again, how many people buy Frozen shoes? So that's another question. I am Beverly W. Hello, Miss Beverly. I know who you are. What route, trail can lead to the holler Summer is in? Where did the whiskey barrel come from? A lot of people are asking that question, but if you want to get technical, the whiskey barrel might not have any bearing. That's the problem, because this barrel could have came from anywhere. Was Summer being sold for abuse? I have already established, yes, I believe that. So I'm still going to ask that because the public asked me to ask that. Does H know what happened to Summer? Did her parents sell her? Does the grandmother know what happened? Did Summer drink twisted tea? Is anyone within the church involved? Did Summer hit her head while swimming? These are all very valid questions, very good questions. Was Summer sold regularly? And that was already a question I had, but I worded it different as well. The person that took Summer, well, there's the name I was looking for because I heard it doing this and I'm hearing it again. Okay. I hear the name Steve. Did he or anyone else have anything to do with it? Does this man have any scars, any tattoos? What are his characteristics like? What will identify him? The man that I had saw looking at Summer, or not Summer, excuse me, her brothers in the vision, to me, he didn't have a very big build. He was tall. I didn't see broad shoulders. And to me, that tells me he's a skinnier man, if that makes sense. The word Griffin, what is this name? Is this a location? Is this a person's name? Someone said that there is a Griff Lane in Lebanon, Tennessee, train tracks, and Spencer Creek. So this is another thing that I thought was important. I wanted those questions to be vocal before I started asking them, so there was no surprises. So are you guys liking the space better than my truck? It's got great lighting. I can see you can see me. There are no surprises. So we have 51 people in climbing so far. This is very nice. Okay. A lot better. If you hear squeaking, that's my leather chair. I'm sitting in my desk chair. So I will start to ask, I'm going to start asking these questions. We have the parents that are being very acrimonious towards this all. They're finding it very hard to just not be angry with everybody asking questions. When you have this masquerade going on of they don't know what happened to Summer, you have to ask yourself, why didn't they allow the police to search in the very beginning? That for me is a big red flag, because anybody that is missing, a parent is going to automatically Hi, beautiful. Deborah, do brothers know this man? That's a good question. I'll write that down for you because I feel like that would be important to ask too. Um, the egregious acts that would have happened that could have been prevented. Why would a mother and a father, you can't search our property? I do not believe they had the best interest for her whatsoever. Um, here, I'm going to work fine for what I don't know. Got to get this paper out. Sorry, I'm a little bit unorganized. Like I said, I'm used to working in a small space. The space is a little bigger. Fine. I'm just going to take the paper out so I don't have to keep looking. All right, let's get to these questions because everybody's waited long enough. Rose, I know you've been helping me, so I would like to ask you some questions tonight. To the man on the property that was watching the boys, who was this man watching? I've heard this name before. I'm hearing the name Paul. Does Paul live close? Is he a neighbor? I already asked that question on the question. Well, it's already on the list for you, honey. Why didn't police get a search warrant for the property? Good question. I mean, if there's a missing child, why wouldn't they? But then again, you shouldn't need one if your child's missing. A parent is going to say, please, I need you to do anything and anything to find my child. Not sure of the laws down there. So the person that you're referring to, does Paul live close? Is he a neighbor? Paul was kin to Andy and Fred. So there's an answer there. Now, do I know this? I'm just giving you the name that she stated to me. So the information that comes out tonight, I want you to be very I want you to be very do not go hunting people down. Do not go knocking on people's doors. This video is not for that. Do I know it's the Paul that is related to these people? No, I do not. But I'm giving you a name, Paul. Where does Paul live? I'm gonna assume either he lives with somebody. It was their uncle. Now that doesn't mean that was their uncle, though. This is what I'm referring back to. This is why I'm saying just because we say a name, that does not mean it's the actual person you're speaking of. But I'm going to give you only what Spirit gives me. So the information that comes through, this, get it to the police because they won't listen to me in this case. They won't listen to any psychic, evidently. So when I ask where this Paul lives, Rose is telling me a person named Anne. Now, is this a place or is this a person he's living with? I'm not sure. Was Summer trafficked? Yes. Paul again. We're going to go back to Paul. So, okay, I'm also getting a name. Paul, Josh. Did Summer's parents sell her to these people? I'm being shown only to one. So that means one person showed up for her. Here's the money. Give me her. One person. Okay, this is a big question for you, Rose. The name Andy has come up numerous times. Who is Andy? So when I ask who Andy is, automatically the answer goes to well. Does that make sense to anybody here? I'd like to know if you can give me some information on that. I need to know what that means. Why do I ask one question at a time? Because if you give a mixed question, you're going to get an uncertain answer. You have to be very specific with Spirit. They will not be able to answer, oh, it's because of this and that. They answer with either one word, one phrase, or they give you a certain answer to one certain question. You might not get an answer for the second answer. So why does this repeat itself? Because well was in the very first video, and I'm not talking about the Wells, the last name. I'm talking about the word well. And what does that have to do? So again, I'm going to ask you, Rose, so I can understand this and repeat it back. What does Andy have to do with Summer? Well done. Are we talking about Don's last name, or are we talking about a place? So when Spirit doesn't answer me back, can you ask if Andy's last name starts with a B? Good question. Just going to write that down because I'll get to it. I don't want to go so many questions and then not be able to answer because I'm going so many different places. Or was Andy a neighbor at the time? Okay, makes sense to ask that, Midnight Baker. Okay, so Rose, when you talk about Andy, when I ask about Andy, how is he involved? What does that mean? Who is Andy? Okay, so I'm going to ask this question because this is a good question for this question because it has to do with Andy. Was Andy or is Andy, let me put it this way to you, honey. Is Andy a neighbor? Okay, let's try this. Was Andy, let me read it to you as I see it on the screen. Was Andy a neighbor that lived there before? Going back to Don. I'm wondering if this is someone Don knows because going right back to Don, right back to the well. Okay, let's ask this question. I believe who asked this question? Mysterious True Crime asked this question. What is Andy's last name? Can you give me a last name? Are you saying it starts with a J? Okay, if I'm confusing you, let me slow down. Because now you're giving me these names again. Unless you're referring, maybe Andy doesn't have anything to do with this. We're just talking about Paul and when I ask what Andy's last name is, I get the word automatically Joel, and then we're back to Paul. So we're going to leave this for open discussion because I hear the word mill. A mill is obviously a place. It could be a street. It could be at any time. This could be an area, or this could be an actual mill. Sometimes they give answers back that we quite don't understand, but they fit once we look into things. So can I go back to the Andy part with you? Can you let me know what Andy's last name is? It's Milligan. Okay. There was a man years ago lived on the property that was named Andy Paul. Oh. Okay. I'm gonna reference back to mysterious true crime. Mysterious true crime. I'm tongue-tied. Why? I don't know. Was the person you're referring to? Now this person lived on. So Andy Paul lived on Don Wells' property. Can you give me a yes or a no to that? Mysterious true crime? Because I want to reference this back to Rose. That's probably why she's saying Don Wells. Okay. Now, is this the person named Andy? Is his last name Paul? True. That's the answer I got. True. Okay. Now, Texas. Hi, Texas Nan. Hello. I thought I would say hi. Well, hello back to you, honey. On bottom shed area. Okay. Is Paul or Andy Paul responsible for Summer's disappearance? That sounded like a two-parter answer. Can you just, if I'm going too fast, you just let me know and I'll slow down because I know I just gave you so many different questions about this person's name. Let me slow down. Let's take a break from that for a second. I'll move to the next question and then we'll come back to that question because there's a lot of questions about Andy. Do you want me to ask again? What about Don? So she's saying to me, Don Shoe. Are you saying hidden evidence, you mean? I'm hearing Don Shoe Hole. Darlene Spencer, Don's friend, question mark. Okay, before I move to the next question, if you don't mind, I'd really like to ask this question one more time, only because I'm kind of confused on your answer, Rose, okay? If this is too much on you, I will move to the next question because I know I'm asking a lot of different questions about Andy. So, the person that took Summer, what is his full name? Can you tell me that? There is something that I have a question about. She referenced Andy, Paul, and then the word Jones. Okay. Just going to mark off the questions that we asked. Okay. Now, someone asked me to ask a question about a person by the name of Fred Hill. I don't like to use people's full names, so I will ask you, what? Sorry, my chair was squeaking. I'm rocking it back and forth because I'm kind of like antsy right now. I'm not used to sitting in a bigger space. Is Fred Hill guilty in any crime that has to do with Summer Wells? If that is too combination of a question, did Fred Hill have anything to do with Summer's disappearance? No. I'm going to put Fred Hill, no. I'm also hearing the name John. Right after that question, I hear John. Darlene Spencer, yay. Was Summer taken because of CPS coming the next day? Butterfly 31 wants to know. I will ask that question as well. The shed that Candace wouldn't let or I believe it says TRI, but I wonder if you mean TBI. Guy Chris go in because she said that it was messy. Has this been checked out? I'm not too sure what she's trying to tell me, but it's almost like she's waving me with her hands. There was somebody or something. Was somebody supposed to come to her house to check something? She's saying to me like she's doing this with her hand gesture. She's going, come, and then she's going back like this, as in a gesture, as somebody was supposed to come, but it didn't work out that way, if that makes sense. She went missing before that. Does that make sense to anybody on here? I don't know what that references to. What does that mean? Okay, she's showing me somebody knocking on the door. I don't know if there was supposed to be somebody coming. Let's this question here. Maybe this is referencing for you, Butterfly from Rose. Was Summer taken because of CPS coming? Oh, that's okay. Coming the next day. Okay, makes sense to me now. So by showing me this and going back to that, I believe she's trying to tell me something to do and then showing me knocking on the door. That makes sense. Got it. So Summer went missing, must have. The day before CPS must have been coming. There it is. Midnight Baker. There you are. CPS was scheduled to come the next day. Makes perfect sense. Okay, Rose, this question, Butterfly. Was Summer, I'm going to say traffic because I know that's what happened. Is that what happened, Rose? Because you did tell me this. I want to double check with you because I want to give a Did Summer go missing because CPS was coming? She's showing me the stack of money again, like she's a stack of money, good stack of money, and she's taking the bills and bending the bills. So you see all the bills just flickering up. So yes, she was sold. I'm very curious to know if Rose was trafficked. If yes, no. Linda, I spoke with Rose Bly. That's not what happened to her. Rita Ledford, yes, CPS was coming the very next day. Well, at least now we know what she meant by that. I swear, it doesn't get any easier, does it? Okay, question. Now, when you're talking about I'm going to read off some names to you that you were just mentioning to me. I'm going to read off this list. I'm not sure. This name Grace keeps coming up, but I do believe it has to do with Candace in some strange way. Candace, Grace, Underpass, Climb, River, Will, Josh, James, John, Sean, Stephen, Ring. Are you talking about the ring on my finger? Or are you talking about like a sex trafficking ring? Terror. Yep. It's Chris McDonough, I think. Don't know what that means, honey. I do know who that man is. I've seen him like pattern. So, okay, here's a question for you, Rose, if you can tell me this one. The little boy that I keep seeing with Summer, who is the little boy? Um, I'm going to give a word, don't know what it means. Um, when I asked who the little boy was, I hear a name like Van or Von, because I keep seeing a little boy that would be with Summer. Michael Von, Jazzy B. Rose, do you know the little boy's first name? She's saying two, two, two. What does that mean? You have to be a little more specific for me so I can give out Michael Von. Michael Von. I'm not sure who this boy is. Can you verify that it's Michael Von, though? I don't want to say a name and it's not the correct information, though. The number 7, I heard this in my live a couple days ago as well. Hunter is going to be 18 soon and having twin babies, Kelly Shelton. Hi, everybody. I'm new subscriber, Crystal. I'm excited to catch you live. Well, thank you for being here, honey. How old is this Michael Von? Because I got the number 7, so I'm not sure if this is verifying his age. So I'm not sure if that references to him or how old Summer would be. Rita, he was same as Summer. So 5. Summer was 5. Okay. Are my questions showing up? I'm not sure, honey. I might be missing them by looking away because I try to, when the spirit speaks, if you notice, my female is this way. So this is where my eyes are going to. It's kind of like a habit. I can't help it. It's just what happens to me. Okay, so a few years ago, which means few is 2, correct? So by now she would be 7 then. Nikki says there is a child missing by the name of Michael Vaughn. Okay. I didn't get a first name, so I do not want to speculate on that. So I don't want to, because I didn't get a first name, so I don't want to. He went missing July 27th, 2021. Anybody know his age? Unless somebody just said he was 5. He was the same age as Summer. So that would make sense. Okay. Now, when you give me the group of names here, you're telling me this is the trafficking ring names. Is that what you're saying to me? She keeps talking about a whole, but I think she means the whole group. A whole group. Pattern. There she goes again. Pattern. Anyone know the name of Andrew's brother, the one who posted the screwed up video of Summer today? I'm not sure what video you're referencing, dear. It's okay, Mimi. So when I don't know if you can see them, John, there is another name here. This goes back to me when I hear spirit. Sometimes I write so fast. It's like a form of auto writing. I'm allowing the spirit to use my hand to write. I have no idea what this word says. Happens to me all the time. I can't make the word out. Oh, okay. The interview room. Oh, okay. This is his channel. Okay, gotcha. I was confused. I wasn't sure. Because I thought you were trying to spell TBI, because I know people have told me to speak with them, but when I called on the first initial years ago, they wouldn't speak to me. If you don't have a credible, way of telling me any news, and I can't take it, so that's fine. I mean, they're just making it harder, because clearly I've heard a lot of people say a lot of psychics are getting the same exact thing. So I mean, did you get Bishop or Edward? I got Parish. That's what I got. So but that also led me to a person's name, Amy Parrish, too. So does that even mean that was for Summer's case? No, it doesn't mean that. Someone, there was a spirit that came through. I don't believe so. No, because I will say this case is really dark, really twisted, really, everybody around her, there was, so by this case coming out, we are finding out a little tidbits of everybody's private business. This is a very not a lot of people want this case out public, because they're finding out this one over here is doing this, and they're finding out, this one over here is doing that. This involves the chief's son there. I was told he was involved in underage girls things. So I have no idea. I just know TBI took the case over, and you're finding out little tidbits of everybody's personal life there. I do believe he lives in the holler. I do believe he is well known. I believe he has a record. I believe Everybody knows exactly who he is. Did Rose's parents lie about her case? As in, her mother, did her mother lie about the case as when her daughter went missing? I do believe that Rose was murdered over money. And when someone didn't get it, someone killed her for that. Someone wanted money from her. And let's just say people don't go missing in twos and there's no body, no evidence. And that's my referencing of a certain person, but I won't say it because it's pure speculation, because right now I have no evidence. But when I'm done with Summer, I'm going to work with Rose Bly and I will get information for her too. The guy Andy Paul was selling women from Beach Creek, Ben Hill Road, from the bottom shed on the Wells property. Makes perfect sense now. Oh, I'm not saying that it's not a validation. So much perversion around that little girl and them little boys. I don't know how they meted out the boys. I'm sure that they were probably in some way. I won't say names. I don't show pictures of children. I wouldn't doubt it if they saw some horrific things happen to her. And it's hearsay until there's evidence, right? That's my point of it being family history. They're very into the grandmother's brother. He was such a dangerous pedophile. He wasn't supposed to be put out, and they let him out. So for me, that tells me most likely Candace was sexually assaulted as a child. It speaks a volume to her mentality as well. The kids went through some horrible things, I believe. Oh, I believe so too. I don't believe Candace is this heartbroken mom. She has to put on a story for the police. And then she has to be this broken person at the same time to make them think this. But I'm not referencing just Candace. I'm referencing Don too. I do believe Don is a very abusive man, and I believe she would have did anything for Don in that matter. I do believe she was sold because she was being assaulted, and school would have turned that in. A school is not the same as a church. I believe so too, Beth. If a school got a hold of that information, they would have turned that in, called the police. So there would have been a bigger story here. There would have been jail time. There would have been potential. What's happening now? All the boys would have been taken. She would have been taken. So they couldn't. Has any of Summer's clothes been found? That's a very good question. I get a lot of people asking about the bathing suit. Darlene Spencer, I sure hope Fred is helping Summer's case. I don't know who Fred is. I just know I wanted to ask that question. A lot of people are talking about him. I do believe I do see a man that I'm kind of confused by this. To me, this would be I do believe this person's behind some. To me, it looks like glass. So he's speaking to somebody. So to me, that almost looks like somebody that's behind jail, like to visit them. They're behind glass, or maybe they're not to speculate it's jail, but to me, there's no contact. So either this is a person that's in jail, someone's getting a visitor. Fred is a very important witness in the case. Fred speaking to Ziggy. Fred is in jail. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. To me, this man is saying a lot of things. And I'm not sure if he's talking about a hole. I hear this a lot. A hole. Does this mean Summer's buried in a hole? Very well could be. But I also believe Summer's going to be found by a passerby. I do believe in some way someone's going to be walking in the area and they're going to come by something strange and they're going to be curious and they're going to find her that way. Fred is in jail. Okay, so I'm wondering if this is the man I'm seeing. Fred's speaking to Ziggy. I think this woman or man, Ziggy, popped on my live before, and Rose was actually talking to this person about saving dogs on Wells property, and she verified that. But that's as far as I know about a Ziggy. His haircut. I do believe she was supposed to look like a boy for a reason of traffickers have a very specific look they want children to have. There is a Ryan and his wife looking for Summer. I wonder. I do remember hearing the name Ryan, so I'm assuming this is who that was. Traffickers have a specific how they want children to look. One, they're going to go missing, so they don't want immediate attention. So of course they're going to want her hair cut off. She's going to look like a boy. No one's going to be looking for a boy. They're going to be looking for a girl. Yes. Second of all, I believe there was a change of clothes ahead of time because when I see her, she looks to be sleeping. What either is on a maybe the backseat of a vehicle or almost like a mattress, but it's a red top, blue jeans, and frozen sneakers. I didn't see socks on her feet, like her ankle area. I don't know if the police can see if the Wells bought sneakers of that kind, because that would, I believe, help because that would distinguish a time frame because the sneakers didn't look old; they looked new. That was the one thing that stood out, and so did the clothes that she had on, because the poor sweetheart looked dirty, and from the video or the picture, and she never looked clean. So this poor girl. But in how I saw her, she had clean clothes on. She had nice new sneakers on. Crystal, yes, Ryan finds truth. I believe Fred has also talked to Ryan. Well, that's good. She got some stuff at a yard sale. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're poor. It doesn't matter as long as you love your child and you keep them clean and you teach them hygiene. This girl, to me, would have had bruises, noticeable bruises on her. She would have head lice all the time. She would have more or less been raised by wolves. But how I see her, she's the happiest little girl, even now. She doesn't have that sense of sadness to her because in her mind, I don't think she was able to get away from the abuse. So that's how she escaped, was to just find the joy in the little things that she did get to do. Candace said she bought her clothes for school. Well, if there was frozen sneakers, question is, how did I see them on her? That means that she would have had to given the trafficker the clothes. There are pics of boys with welt marks. It doesn't surprise me. Summer definitely was a free spirit for sure. And bruises, I bet. Because when I see Summer, I see it's like bruises everywhere. Like a child doesn't get that bruised unless they're being hit, unless they're being um, the picture of the shed I did see. And I can tell you there was a man that I pictured and he was taking off his belt. I got the idea it was for sexual purposes, yes. And it was not, I got very sick to my stomach when I see that. This is the first time I have heard anything about new frozen sneakers. That was something that came to me the last live that I just did. It was like seeing her, I want to say the back seat of a truck, but it almost looked like a white area. So that's how I distinguished. She had a red shirt, she had blue jeans on, and the sneakers with no socks because whatever she was on was white, and I could see the coloring of her clothes. Yes. Let's Josh. Here's back to Josh. Okay. The name Josh was just referenced again, by the way. The boys' CPS, they were, I bet you they said everything, and that's why they haven't gotten their kids back. I believe Candace was jealous of Summer. You know, Candace and Don are two in the same energy. Energy attracts energy. You're a mirror of who you attract. Don was a pedophile. Candace, for me, I got something weird that it was very disturbing to me. I felt like she had something for the younger male with her. I'm not sure if it was a relationship or she just liked him in that way. And that's a pedophilic want for a younger child. So they're together because they attract each other that way. Mirroring characteristics in people. You will find that in one of my videos. You are who you are by who you date. You're mirroring who you want to be with because you see something in that person about yourself. I'm a sensitive that has haunted me in my health. Deborah, this case has been, Sarah, yes, she did. I have told my husband eventually, at some point, I'm going to have to step away from this case because I get what is called phantom pains. I am a physical medium. So not only do I feel the pain, I will get the pain so bad in my body that I have to go to the hospital because it feels like I have something wrong with me physically. I just had a scare from what I thought was a blood clot in my leg. I had all sorts of procedures done. I had severe pain around my rib cage and around my upper stomach. And I do believe that that has to do with Summer. I do believe she was in some way physically restrained. And I do believe that her legs being in that barrel are all like very, very crimped. And they also put dirt in with her. So the smell of her would be hard. When you bury a body with dirt, the earth gets cold with the dirt. So it's kind of hard to smell a body that is no longer alive. And I've become very disassociative with my family the last week. It's upset me that bad. And I also felt I didn't feel like I cared too much about things. It was like a very emotional state for me. And to feel that the predator, it just made me want to close myself in a little bit. and just not want to do anything because I just didn't feel safe. So you get those emotions from someone that is murdering people, and then you get the emotions of the murdered. So it's a very hard, unbalanced feeling. But all my tests came back. Strangely, I got 3 different diagnoses. One, there was nothing in the test. 2, the doctor thought I had something wrong with me when there was nothing wrong with me. And then my blood work, they had no idea what they were even talking about. So I knew this had to this went back to Summer's case. Thank you. Yeah, it's a lot of people are becoming strangely so connected to this case. It's making them very unstable. I've had a couple of trolls on my page. I'm like, do you waste time to go page to page? Do you have a job? Do you do something with your life? Go find something to do. I don't do this for a living. What I do, I have my own business. That's what I do. This is extra to help people. I get told, oh, you're just copying. What do I have to copy? I've been doing this for years. I don't care what you think about me. Delete it and block. That's it. Yeah, Jazzy. It's a feeling of your whole body just becomes very unbalanced, and you become become like you're in a lot of pain, and you don't know where it's coming from. You've been getting up Rita every day and see if she's been found. It makes you sick. It really does, because there's a little girl out there in a barrel inside dirt, and she's just sitting there, bones, every Christmas missed, every birthday, no hugs, no kisses, no family. She's all alone. But at least in spirit, I have to say, this little girl, she does not see it that way. Yes, she was tormented in life, but at this time, I have not seen her crying. I've not seen her begging for help. To me, she's in a state, in a realm to where she thinks she's just playing. Thank you, Linda. That was a nice thing, because she needs it. Tracy Bennett, just found you. I felt a connection from a video you made years ago. Kid cases are hard for me because some of them don't understand. They don't know how to get over, and some of them don't have family to help them get over, or they just don't want to go because they don't understand. So there's always that imbalance of, do I want to go? Is someone to come for her? It's a hard thing. I do believe she is very, she's just doing her own thing. And her aunt is the one that's speaking for her, because to me, her aunt would have spoken up for her in life. Kentucky Mama, one of them. Yeah, well, thank you, darling. You were spot on with Savannah's case, and it was solved. This will be solved if they listen to you, but they don't. They made that quite clear all over the news, and I still tried, even though I saw that, to give information, and they don't want psychic help. They've stated that. So I figured, if, in some way, whoever's looking for her, if we do things legally, ask questions, ask if you can search. I mean, I know how you're going to give a tip from a psychic. It's confusing. Where are you going to say you got it from? How'd you get your information? It's a hard thing. Hawkins County is dirty. Sarah being told. Michael Vaughn went missing in July, the 7th month. That would make complete sense. Wilted lettuce. You guys have some really cool, unique names, I must say. It may be because higher ups in the county, I have to say, you've seen all the things that are coming out in the news. Look at, and this is another thing. Just, and this is the reason why I don't work with serial killers cases. The Gilgo Beach killer. I'm sure this has been all over the news. I'm sure you know who this is. There's one girl that is specifically keep coming to me, and I can't work with her because it's so much torment, it's so much torture. What it will do to me, it will break me down little by little, and I will not be able to function at all. I cannot work with serial killer cases. Hello, beautiful people. Now here. Um, that's a definite. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to read some of your stuff. I don't have my glasses on, so I'm being a little slow. Please excuse me. I'm gonna get some more of these questions for us too. So I want to go back to them because I've got to talking. I get stirred away from talking, but I want to give everybody the opportunity to ask questions as well. Okay, my chair is squeaking and it's driving me crazy. You hear it? It's awful. Yes, welcome everybody that's coming in. Mysterious True Crime. Because Mimi, when children come to you, you're their safe space. Your light glows extra bright. There was the Maddox case that I worked on years ago, and when I spoke to the detectives, I spoke to them 4 times on the phone. They called me 3 to 4 times, and I gave a description. I said he'd be found. He's going to be buried in something. You're not even going to know you're standing next to him. He's going to have markings here, and he's going to be sexually abused. How they found him? Maddox Ridge. They said his face was chewed on by animals. No. And the way he was buried, the FBI agent was standing right next to where he was found, and he had no idea he was standing next to him because someone buried him in the ground in a way that it looked like a bunch of branches on the ground like an animal would do, but there was no way. They know it. I know who did it, but I can't. I don't have proof of it, so I can just say I've seen him in an interview, and I tried to tell the cops, and this person has moved quite a few times in life that told me something right there about themselves, as well as he was a left-handed man. He wore a cross. He helped people for a living. I knew his address, so I'm not sure what came of that. So I want to get back to more questions for us. Okay. Where did the whiskey barrel originate from? Says holler. Which holler would that be? I understand Tennessee, but what place in Tennessee? What holler? There's a lot of hollers in Tennessee. Ooh, if you hear that noise, my husband's getting into the shower. I told you I'm in the house now, so you have to get used to certain noises. What holler in Tennessee would this whiskey barrel? Where would this whiskey barrel have originated from? If it is a whiskey barrel, is it a whiskey barrel? Is it a wine barrel? Or as someone stated on here, should someone use it for moonshine? I'll slow my questions down, okay? Because I know I just did it again. I try to get so many answers at once sometimes. Is the barrel that Summer Wells, your niece, excuse me, I'm being disassociative. No. The barrel that Summer is in, where did that barrel come from? Okay, I understand. I heard you say that. but what is the name of the place that it would have originated from? Did the barrel belong to someone, just a regular person? Was it on someone's property? Um, I'm going to read this to you because I think this is what she's referencing. So I'm going to go back to this. So when I asked her where the barrel originated from, she said came from the holler, loud as can be. French winery, hunted coyotes. I don't know yet. 1 second. Then she said Tennessee, holler, Tennessee, which tells me it's from a place in Tennessee. Then she said steady. Then she said coal. Then she said fill. So this tells me this barrel was used most likely to put coal in, and it was filled with coal. Now, my question is coal. Are there coal places in Tennessee? I have to ask this question because I'm not sure. I always ask questions to everything. That's why I'm always talking for long periods of time. We only find parts of Summer. I had heard her teeth were planted in someone's garden. I will say, when I see her, she is fully in a barrel. So I don't go on something as such. So mysterious true crime, yes to what? What is your question? What is your answer to? Coal, because I need to know, do you feel like our justice system should have stricter laws? Oh, yeah. I believe, I'm going to tell you what I believe. I'm going to say this because I am very too cold. I figured that. I just wanted to make sure. Okay, Darlene, Andy B is said to have wooden barrels on his parents' property. I believe the law should be as stated. If you molest a child, you go to prison for life. That's just me. Or you're sentenced to the death penalty. Does that make me sound like an animal? I don't care. You took away someone's childhood, their innocence. They will forever be scarred by what this person did to them. The train takes coal to the Jack's building. Gotcha. They use coal at the plant. Eastman. Yes. Agree. Okay. They are yeah, I agree. Midnight Baker. Fred recently revealed that they and other neighbors used those types of barrels to collect rainwater when they didn't have running water. Eastman chemical plant in Kingsport. Okay. Rogersville was, Nikki, mentioned. If you recall, if you go back to my other live, I told you about Rogersville, Beach Creek, Ben Hill Road. I believe the circumference has to do with train, water, the barrel, the specific area. Oh, that was one of the most important questions I need to ask. Rose, is Summer close? Is Summer's body close to home? Strangely, no answer on that. Son of my brother. I do believe pedophiles should be in prison for life, or they should be given the death penalty. Yes. How old was your brother, dear? 2. My song. How old was your brother? 27 years old. I do want you to hold on to the understanding of, even though he was murdered, I want you to understand that no, he is not suffering. And the most important thing is, when someone is murdered, that does not mean they're stuck here. Understand that they, if they choose, they move on. If there's something's holding them back, they will get through it and they move on. So I want you to understand, even though he died in an egregious way, understand that he's not suffering and he's not stuck here, okay? So I want you to understand, grieving will only, so if he wants to send you a message, spirits have a harder time sending a message to people that are very distraught, because they want you to understand, don't cry for me anymore. I'm here, I'm safe, I'm okay. Is it wrong that he got there that way? Absolutely. It's sad. At the same time, spirits don't want us to hold on to them, because they don't want us to feel and miss out on anything important in life. Death holds us in a manner that we stay secluded sometimes. We don't want to move forward. They don't want that for us. You're welcome. My mother passed away from, I believe that. I do believe people can die from a broken heart. Absolutely. That's a true diagnosis. What do you think a lot of elderly people die from when they're stuck in a nursing home and no one goes to visit them? Most people think, that's what I have to work on ASAP. Loving my babies. My loves. Message me. Most people think elderly people die of sickness to the organs or things of that nature. Depression, sadness, heartbroken, that makes our organs sick. It kills our organs slowly. So when someone is alone and they're lonely and they're heartbroken, that actually kills them faster. So, Rose, when we talk about the barrel, you said to me, holler, Tennessee, steady, hold, fill. What are you referencing? Coal miner. That's why I believe mill came up earlier. My song, My Heart Breaks for You, lots of them. To all. Nope, I worked in a nursing home, loneliness. So she's speaking about the word coal miner. Does H know what happened to Summer Rose? I don't know how to reference that back to the public. She goes, kind of, sort of, like in between question. Back to Paul. That Paul name keeps coming up loud and clear. Did Summer drink twisted tea that day? No. That was loud and clear. The person that was with the person that took Summer, she corrected me. Okay. I have to be careful because she gets a little touchy sometimes. I said the person that took Summer, no, sold. I believe he knows something. Does K relate to coal miner? I'm going to get back to that question because it's a very great question. I'm going to write that down right now so I don't forget. Miner. Good question. Okay. So the person that Summer was sold to, does he have tattoos? Can you just do that one for me one more time, honey? Just so I know I'm saying it correctly. She says here, tattoo here. Hey, what about scars? Which part of the eye? Under here or above the eye? That's very specific. She says right on the eye here. There's a scar. Not here, not here, but here. And another name, Dan. Okay. Is he white or is he of a diverse color? White. Okay, that goes back to what I've seen. Does that mean shoulder? Can you kind of go back for 1 second? When you say shoulder, it's almost like she's telling me something's wrong with his shoulder. Maybe displaced, like he's got a bad shoulder, like it would have been hurt before and it bothers him still. Texas, I'm not sure what that means. Reference, I haven't heard that, so that's not something I will ask that question for because I've never heard Summer. I won't ask Summer a question that I didn't reference. Why does Summer reference medicine sandwiches? Maybe that's something she said in a video or something. I'm not sure what that means. Okay, butterfly. I believe Summer was taken by one person and handed off to someone else. Oh, I believe that as well because I have there as a group of them. Pattern, terror. Yes. Yay, glad you were here. Was she drugged? Rose, can you tell me when Summer was sold, was she drugged? Yes, but Summer was given pill of some sort. What color was the pill? Can you be exact on the pill color? Blue, a blue pill. Blue. Do you say blue? Ooh, two. It's almost like she's showing me a red pill and a blue pill, since she says two. I've already answered that, Darlene, and yeah, I believe so, yes, because when I picked up on this man, I got that he was, I'm going to say tall. He didn't have a big build. I do believe he's well known in the holler, and I do believe he has a record, so I will answer yes, that myself. He's well known to everybody. This is like so underneath. It's just so, it's out in the open, but it's also very hidden, if that makes sense. Like people aren't even going to know it's hidden. Um, it's so naturally done. No one's going to believe it's happening. That's how out in the open it is. You want to hide something, you do it out in the open. Exactly. Kentucky. No, I believe she was drugged to keep the transaction at a calm state. I don't believe she was overdosed. No. Is he part of the church? Yes, that was one of the questions I'm going to ask. Fred was in jail. This Fred artist already come up in my questions for myself that I've already asked Rose, and he is not involved. No. Paulette asks, was I've already answered that question. No, she was not part of a sacrifice. I'm unaware of what Xanax looks like. Um, blue again. She's talking about blue. That's okay, Texas. I wasn't um I try not to go on certain things like being sacrificed. I didn't once get that she was sacrificed, so I will not ask that question. The church is involved with many missing people. I find it strikingly odd that the church didn't see the abuse. For me, there's a reason why they would have kept that so low key, because they didn't want involvement in things for their own dirty deeds. I'll leave it at that. Summer, Summer should, all them kids should have been taking a long time ago. And the fact that this is the outcome of all the twisted chaos that goes around that place is disgusting. Does the authorities know that Summer was sold? Um, I do believe they have an idea, yes. I do believe they have an idea. Proving it is another thing. But I also believe that there is other things that are involved. Um, so opening this case, everyone is getting found out in their own little way. It's like a puzzle that's being put together slowly. You know, the church does come into mind as a strange place. I do believe there is something strange there, but does it have to do with Summer? No. I do believe there's other weird things that comes along with that. I do believe in some way, I do believe in some way they cared, but they didn't care enough. They're also covering up other things that they did themselves. That's why they locked the doors and wouldn't let any YouTubers in. I don't know about the Angela. Summer love. Oh, Summer loved Frozen. Okay. Um, yes, I believe Summer's justice is coming. When we don't know, but nothing ever stays in the dark. Does it take years sometimes? Sure, it does. Sometimes cases can take for me up to 1 to 2 years. It could be a long time, but always will be found. I wonder why Candace got upset over cornbread mafia. Um, I do believe I saw that. I do believe I saw something on some TV show host or something. She was asked about that and she started to cry. I don't think she cried out of the want to be afraid for summer. I think she cried because she knew, oh, I came here to ask a question, to get questions out. And here I'm thinking they were going to be on my side. But um, she got a big middle finger because even the people that were doing the interview knew something was wrong. It kind of boggles my mind how Don played himself off to be this broken, loving father when in the meantime he's molested people. He's on, video stating this. It really boggles my mind. Dr. Phil. Yes, Rita, it was Dr. Phil. Colette, I'm not sure. Right now she's working with me for summer, so that speaks about her nature for her niece. She's putting her first. Cornbread Mafia goes from the East Coast to the West Coast. I do not believe they had anything. I do believe that was injected to the investigation to throw off the trail. They suspects will do that. Yeah, Don is definitely a pro at lying. He's this, wow. Like I said, the pieces are starting to fit little by little by little. People are finding out more and more and more things. I love the way you work, Spirit will not tell us some things. It has to all come in due time. When Spirit does tell me something, I try to fit it in a sentence that is going to make sense to you and not just make sense to me, but how I feel when it comes to me. Like the coal for the barrel question. To me, coal, steady, and fill means something to do. Steady. I do believe that this has to be some sort of mine or some sort of place, a business where this came from. Does it necessarily have to be? Do they use barrels for that kind of thing? I don't know because I'm giving you the information as I hear it. It's kind of like you're getting the first answer back from Spirit before I put a video out. Do you get the name David Bays? I did get a name Dave in the beginning, but no David or Bays, no. Jeffrey, is Andrew Hilt's bro name? I'm sorry, honey, I can't really understand your reference. That should tell them something. What is the name of your website for readings? You readings here. My business, I do not give my personal private business out because I've had suspects come look for me. So I am very careful at what I do. If people want readings, I do them on here. Jeffrey is also one of Fred Hill's friends. Pat Wilcox. Not sure. I definitely believe that, Rita. Don is a snake in the grass. You are very welcome. Let's get back to some more questions. I try to go through your answers and see what's good here. Is anyone in the church involved in Summer's disappearance? That is one of the biggest questions. Rose, when I ask you that, honey, you are doing a phenomenal job on showing me things. But if you could show me in more detail what you mean by that. I don't want to be ungrateful towards you. She's using a lot of hand gestures with me. I've heard this in this case already 3 times. She's talking about the word wall. My question for you is the church involved in Summer's disappearance? Speaking of the word cult, like brainwash. Some places speak so highly of the way they preach the word of God, but they get people so in depth with cult-like behavior. But she says no, they are a cult and they do a lot of brainwashing and behavior in so many words. They use their power to make it. They use their power to make it a more powerful act, if that makes sense to you. They're using their position of power to prey on the weak. But no, they do not have anything to do with the church. Butterfly, yes, cult. Will Summer ever be found? Very good question. Rose, will Summer ever be found? This happens a lot. I only want one person here right now, and that is Rose Bly. No, you may not speak right now. So you have to step back and let her speak. Rose? Will Summer ever be found? I'm going to give Rose a minute because there's another person here and she's more or less telling them, you have to wait, you have to wait. Good night, dear. Butterfly, good night. Have a good rest, honey. That's a good question. I'm going to ask this next. When you are ready, let me know. Okay? Strawberries and peaches. Did Don Wells take Summer from the basement and hand her off to someone in a car? End of driveway. Rose, if you can answer this for me, did Don bring Summer to the car? She's saying, first of all, it wasn't a car. What do you mean? Did Don bring Summer to the man and sell her? Did the man come and get Summer from Don? I'm beginning to see Rose does a lot of she talks with her hands a lot, like an Italian. Um, this is like the fifth time. Um, in the way she's showing me, he would have brought the man's on the property already. He would have brought Summer to the man, and the man went down, as in, and she keeps talking about a hole too. I'm assuming that's what she's talking about, where Summer's buried, a hole or in some nature of that fact. To me, it's like she's showing me Don is carrying her to the man, and he goes down to the vehicle. Gina, is it a red truck? Mimi, SUV. Christy, horse. Can of worms opened. I won't I will only go by what she tells me. Okay. What type of vehicle took Summer away? Repeat the name of that vehicle for me, would you, honey? What color was it? Was it a car? No. Was it a van? Truck. Truck. What color was the truck? Was it red? Was it blue? Was it white? You tell me what color it was. Um, to me, it almost looks like a red, but it's not a dark red, if that makes sense. It looks like, let me give you an example. What color would this look like to you? On here, it looks almost orange, but it has a lighter color up here. To me, it's almost like a burnt red color, if that makes sense. Tall. She's showing me a man moving the branch away. So this isn't something trail. There's the boots. Okay. Um, the boots are, he is a tall guy. He is skinny. The jeans, now the boots, the thing about the boots look almost longer. I don't want to say up the calf, but right around mid ankle. They weren't laced up all the way. They were filthy. Um, he almost carried somewhere like a pack of potatoes. Disgusting. Um, shirt. To me, I would say it's a plaid shirt, but the way the shirt looks is folded on one arm, and the other arm is like it's not even done up right. It's not even buttoned here. Um, to me, his hair is I can see his face. Um, to me, I'm gonna say it almost looks kind of like a white color, but it's not fully white. It's not salt and pepper. It's kind of mixed gray. I know that would sound like salt and pepper, but it's strange the way I'm trying to say it. Gray, a little bit lighter. It's kind of like a scraggly, almost like a longer hair almost to me. That's what it looks like. Very tall, very skinny looking. He has really long legs. He's skinny, like skinny. Um, I want to call him a scraggler for some reason. That's coming to mind. Um, how old was he? No to Fred. Um, how old would he be, Rose? Because I'm getting the gist of around um, 50s at least, maybe a little, maybe late 50s. Very skinny, very long legs. Um, his face, um, how could I explain his nose? Rose, can you help me with the more of the picture of his face? You did so great just now. Can you show me his facial features? Yep, I know. You told me the scar. What about his nose? What about his eyes, his mouth? There's a mustache. There's a beard. He's not shaved. He's got that burly, like, what color is his eyes? What color are his eyes? You're, I'm seeing it as brown, but are you telling me something else? I don't understand. You are talking about he's wearing contacts? I don't want to say contacts because the way he looks, it doesn't look like he wears contacts. I'm confused. Are you saying they're like maybe hazel? Or she's trying to show me the eye color, but at first I'm seeing brown, but she's kind of like telling me there's something with his eye color. It's not just brown, if that makes sense. Helen is from Australia. Good day, honey. Um, Angels for Justice. Good night, Helen. About how old is he? As I said, to me, he's in his late 50s. Because to me, he has that. If I could see a picture of him, I could tell you by the way he looks. I could tell you if it's him or not. But he's very tall. Um, if I could describe what I mean by skinny, he's very skinny up top, he's very skinny on the bottom. It's like his whole body is just like um one length, if that makes sense. There's um no big here. And no, it's very strange how he's so skinny and tall. I can even tell his walk is strange. Um okay, here's a question for you, honey. Why did he carry Summer to the vehicle? It's almost like she's showing me that at first she went with him and then she just couldn't keep up. So he picked her up and put her over his shoulder. Um, and something to do with tire marks. I'm assuming he, um, I don't know what that means. I don't know if it's a dirt road but there should have been tire marks taken. My sacred path, can you see me? Yes, I can, dear. Yeah, honey, it's rough because I'm actually seeing this guy's whole entire something to do with his nose. It's his, um how could I explain this nose? You ever see the marks on someone's nose that is almost like scar tissue looking like? I can't explain how I want to say it. Um, maybe more really wide open pores, but that's how I see his nose. Well, thank you, darling. I can't explain it to the way I want to. If I could find a picture of some sort, I will post it and I will show you what kind of nose that I mean. It's very distinctive. It's got like almost like dots, but they're not dots. It's like a to me it represents someone that would have been out in the sun a lot. Um, I can't. I will show if I can find a picture. I will definitely. Kentucky Mima knows what I'm saying. Um, I wish I could sketch. I would do it. I would do it. I can't draw like that. If I could find a sketch artist, I would do it. Sacred Path, I've been trying, and I can unfortunately only give information to people that are going to listen. Yeah, yeah, big pores. It's like you ever see an older person's nose that has, I don't know, the only example I can give is like out in the sun. I don't want to say blackheads, Christy. It's a different, I've seen somebody's nose like that before. That's why I'm getting the idea of it from when she's trying to show me this. I'm still looking into that name. I will get back to you. And it actually is connected to somebody in the case. It's actually connected to H, the person he knows by that name. What does it mean yet? I don't know. Sunspots. I don't know. You know what? Give me a moment. Maybe I can find a picture actually with you guys right here. Give me 1 minute. How would I even say that? Pictures of distorted noses, maybe. Oh, perfect example. Here we go. It looks kind of like this, not fully like this, but like this. Do you see that? It's not doing any justice by the light. And I can't turn the light off because we'll be in. Do you see the nose? That's the nose. That's the kind of nose I'm talking about. Okay. I don't know what they're called, beautiful disaster. I just know age spots, sunspots, something. Linda bulbous. But that's what I was trying to get at. And it was a very hard way to explain it because I can't give shape or definition to the nose except for it was bigger on the bottom somewhat. Even though he's very skinny, his nose is a facial feature that would point out. Very weird. And the skinniness to this guy, it's like he has no meat on his bones. There's no flat from the front to the back. It's very Darlene Spencer, that is a very good reference. Why I couldn't get that out. Looks like it. I want to say it almost like an alcoholic nose. If that's what you said, because I don't have my glasses on, honey, so I'm trying my hardest to read. I'll bet it is Tony Hammonds. I don't like to say names, so please reference when you reference somebody's name, only do it by the first name and the last letter, the last name letter. Is Ronnie Lawson corrupt? Sacred Path, what I got from trying to give information, I was told they cannot accept my information because it is not technically evidence because it comes from a psychic. Now, I did pick up about something about his son, so I'm not sure if he thought maybe his son did something, and where was he in the vicinity at the time? I don't know. String bean, a skinny, okay, but that's very sloppy looking man. And to me, it wouldn't be, there is men that are dirty from working extremely hard. Those are the kind of men that I say dirty hands are clean money. This is the kind of guy to me. This goes actually back to Cole and Phil, and to me, something to do with oil. He gives me that vibe. A dirty old person that would like work at a gas station and not care what he looks like or involve himself with even being around people because it's the children he actually wants to be around. His obsession, that sense. Is Jody Sue telling the truth? And if so, why now? I'm not sure what that references to. As you can see, my voice is starting to get hoarse from this is what happens to me during spirit contact. This is a good question. To who asked this question? My sacred path, Jody Sue. I've had a lot of questions about this woman. Summer said he smells like pee. He's a very dirty guy. And I don't think, like I said, it's from hard work. It's from someone who just doesn't care about the odor or the way he wears clothes or himself in that manner. Emily, hello everyone. I'm glad I found your channel. Well, thank you, Emily. It's nice to meet you. I just looked up Tony Hammonds. Wow, definitely seems to fit the description and has been arrested in the past for attempted kidnapping. If you can get me a picture, Crystal, you put that out and I will tell you if that's the man I see. But I can guarantee you when this person is found, it's going to match that description because it is so detailed. I've had detailed descriptions before, but never something so the front, the back. Usually it takes me a little while to perceive the information. I always start off with their feet first. I don't know why. Spirit always shows me the perpetrator by their feet first because feet can be identified, believe it or not, just like the face can. Just like their clothing, but the clothing is very distinctive in I'm not sure who Ron is. RON. Yeah, it's a good way to put it, Angie. And oh, sorry, Angels. Why I want to call you Angie, I don't know. A grungy man. I guess you could put that in that sense. Yes. Let me get to another question here because we'll be closing this live down in about, I don't know, this is important. So maybe I'll stay on for another 20 minutes. skinny. Um, what does the name or word will mean, Rose? Because I've heard it so many times. Yep, we're looking into that. What does the word will mean? Is it a will, a document, or is it a person's name? Name. This is different for me because I usually hear bill behind it in order for me to know it's a name and not an actual thing. Yeah, Rita, definitely. To me, describing him. Okay, now I'm being shown his hands, distinctive hands, um, his fingernails. Um, how do I explain this? His fingernails would be women's nails are usually, I don't know. I don't know if you could see my fingernails. These are more of a, oh, being told like a hammer. I think they're called hammerhead fingers. They're very strange looking. They have a more smaller nail but thicker finger, if that makes sense. There's 3 bills. I looked him up. He could be the one. Very dirty. Um, I want to ask this very important question about um, the cave. Does the coal and the mine have, what does that have to do with the cave? Is there a connection to the cave from the coal? She's saying no, it's a distance. So that's telling me back to the circumference. So when they lay out a circumference for me, it is for strictly this area here. It's going to match up on a map. Anybody that knows that when I work in missing cases, there's always a circumference that's put up for me. So I'll get this place, this place, this place, and I'll be shown in a way that it's like a mapping system. Okay. This is an important one, Rose. What does the cave have to do with Summer's disappearance? Okay. So as you can see, I already wrote wall down. It's right here where my finger is. See that? But it looks backwards to you guys. When I ask about the cave, she talks about the wall again. So I am wondering, is this cave hidden in a bed of rocks of some sort? You know what I mean? Um, a road name. Good question. Um, Mimi on live would like to know what road is the cave near? Excuse me, on. Um, how do I reference this? Um, can you tell me if you can't say it fully, you can say it 1 and then 2. That way I'll understand what you mean. Is this talking about the cave? No. Okay, I would like to know about the cave. Are there bodies in the cave being referenced, if you know? I'm hearing several. Okay. Is Summer in this cave? Okay. So, is this in the circumference of where Summer is? Love that you talk with your hands, honey. I just need to a little bit more um, understanding what you mean by that because I have to reference it back to them and I don't know how to. She's saying something about you're going to pass. You're going to pass. You're going to pass a wall. She said, you're going to pass a wall. Okay. Where is the wall located? That's my question, honey. What about, are you trying to say something like an underpass? I don't understand what she's trying to show me. Is Summer near the cave? Whatever wall this means. Okay, here's a question. Is wall a name of is a name of a place? Is Wall a name of a street? It's almost like a. I'm trying to repeat it how I hear it, but I don't think it makes sense. Wall, something with wall and R, if that makes sense. Um, Tunnel, maybe the Halston River is a wall, like a rock wall entrance to the cave. That's what Midnight Baker, I'm thinking that's what she's referencing to, but I'm trying to understand. She's doing a lot of talking with her hands. Um, if you guys could find anything on Rose Bly and see if she talked with her hands and how she referenced things, you'd know what I mean. Robin, we've already asked that question. Yes. Fall. Okay, let's try maybe a different question. Sometimes it's just hard for them to say what they need to. Okay. Um, why don't you tell me anything you need me to, anything to tell me? Why don't you tell me anything you need to about Summer right now? You can tell me where she is. You can tell me the area where we need to look. You can tell me a street name. Fall. Okay. Can we explore that some more? Let's talk about that. Fall, is that a place? Is there a name, more of a name to that? Like sometimes you give me little pieces of a word and then it comes out to be something else. break, pill. You're saying spill or are you saying pill? Pill. Talking about pills. Damn. Fall, break, pill, damn. She's kind of confusing me. She's talking about it's a place where a lot of. I'm assuming this is what she's referencing to. Is there a place where people do a lot of drug use in a certain area? Fall Branch, Tennessee. Okay. I try not to look at your answers right away because it distracts me from what Spirit says. Okay. In the wall of Ben Hill Road in the basement. Um, can you look at a pic that was DM'd to you? How would it show up here, honey? If you're on my Facebook, yes, I can. Wall by waterfall, very well could be. Messages because I feel like I'm missing some. Give me 1 second. I got my cursor. I'm working from a desktop now, so things are a little different with how I see things. There is a YouTube video with Tony Hammond's picture next to Summer. Ask if there's a connection between them. So maybe I didn't miss much. Okay. Falls Creek. Good answer. We can look into that. Beth, you retracted your message. In the wall. So we didn't miss much. Okay. Someone just sent it to you. I sent you a PM on your messenger. Okay. I'm going to look at it right now. I'm not even going to switch off the screen. I'll just look in my phone. You couldn't find me on Facebook? I'm not sure why that is. A lot of people have my Facebook. There are waiting lists for my Facebook because I do challenge Facebooks when I see energy that I don't like from them. Okay, here is a picture of Tony Hammond that I think they saw. This was an arrest report in Kingsport, Tennessee. Hold on 1 second. And I will show you my Facebook picture on here so you know exactly what my Facebook is too. So this pretty much looks like the guy that I see. To whoever sent me this, Lisa, this is who I see right there. I told you I could tell you. I need to see a full picture of him because I don't want to see just his face. I want to see his whole exterior of his body. I need to see that. But yes, to me, that looks like the man in the picture that I see. Okay. A lot. I want to know more about this man because I want to know what the connection is to the ring. I want to know more about the that is all that was on Google. I will see if you could please, whatever you can find, I can pull things from his picture as well. He is tall and skinny. The skinny I'm talking about is like small hips. There's just no meat to him. It's very a skinny build. Yeah, I've already asked that question. He's a biker. So that would give me pause because something to do with oil. He works with oil. I'm not understanding the connection yet. To me, it's almost like he'd be around, as Savannah said, in her case, grease monkey or something like that. He was driving maroon car, not finding any other pictures, but he's 58 years old, so he was in his late 50s. Okay. Okay. Oh my goodness. We have already went through all the questions on this paper, so I will allow more questions for about 5 more minutes, and then we'll shut the live down because I do believe we just got a lot of great answers. But what are the names that are connected to this man? That's my question. We got Paul, Andy. I have another question. Maybe you can fill me in, and maybe Rose can. There was a name Kim that came up quite a bit for me, looking into this. I'm not sure who Kim is. You could do this all night. Trust me, if I could, I would. This kind of work puts me right on my behind, energetically wise. Does Rose see Arnott's going to jail? Did Grandis have anything to do with Summer going missing? Don Wells knew TH. To this, Robin, did Grandis have anything to do with Summer going missing? When that question is asked, she doesn't reference back to Summer. What she does is she pats her own chest. For me, that's it's like a connection to her. So that tells me, I think she knows what happened to her daughter. Goban called monkey. The other body in the cave, are they children? Rose, that's a great question. Are the bodies in the cave, you said several. Are they children or are they what kind of age group? What age range? Um, what do you mean? She says the number 7, but does that mean there's 7 people or do you mean the ages of 7? 7 and up, 7 and up. So child and higher. So most likely all children. Grandis had something to do with Rose going missing. I believe she knows what happened to her. Ask yourself this. Grandis doesn't seem to be the person. I believe someone hurt Rose and she didn't want other person. See, I have to be careful of speculation here. I do believe she knows what happened, but she also can't tell on the other person. If you're getting my drift. Because her daughter said, me, me. When asked about Summer, she said, me, me. I think you understand what I'm trying to say. You have to be very careful what you say on here. You can't throw speculation out there. And what I'm saying is speculation. I'm going by what Spirit says. So I'm going to tell you what I hear. But when I speak with past on spirits, as we all know, go back to Savannah Spurlock, go back to Maddox's case, go back to Molly Tibbetts' case, go back to a lot of other cases I've worked. Some were solved, some weren't. It happens that way. I have no control what is checked and what is not. But in this case, it's really sickening and sad. So I feel this is why everybody's coming together as a group and trying to help her. Does Rose think neighbors were involved? Um, when you show me that, does that mean that they would have had to travel? So what now when you say neighbor, okay, how many miles are we talking about in neighbor? Because what she just showed me was I hear the tire going over the dirt, like pulling up and then making this um, kind of screeching halt, like and then stop. I know that's a kind of weird way to put it, but I can hear the car coming over the gravel and then stopping. Um, does that represent what? And does that represent had to drive some ways to get there? How far is a neighbor in that place? Does that mean, oh, yes, Colette, thank you, because I got sidetracked. Um, let's see. I think Summer's case is going to get solved and your help is going to help find her. I really hope so. I really do. Um, let's get back to Jody Sue Rose. Good question, Claude. Thank you. I'm sorry I got sidetracked. Um, what about Jody? Okay, I'm going to say this. Jody S. Excuse me, I've already said it, but I have to be vigilant on keeping my questions at bay with certain things. What about Jody? Okay, but does that go to her character? So in court, lawyers will ask and say to the judge, I need to know this about this person. It goes to their character. I don't know if you've ever, if you understand my reference. So, um, what does that have to do with Summer, though? Is she telling the truth? She's telling me that this, this person drinks a lot, if that makes sense. Um, um, Andy and Jody Sue's husband were Summer. Can you ask if anybody in the church knows it? I've already asked that, Robin. Um, so when you say she drinks a lot, what does that mean to this? What does that pertain to? Hmm. Um, how could I put this? I don't want to. I don't want to shun anybody's name. Um, I assume the report she told police. She said she heard a scream. You're my cat. Sorry. Um, I'm kind of confused on how to say this to you. Um, what I don't. Can you help me figure out how to tell them that? Because I think I know what you're referencing. I just don't know. Kind of like, you ever hear of someone say, take their words uh, with a grain of salt? If that makes sense to you, you'll understand what I'm trying to say. Um, it's almost like what she said didn't make sense. Like her story just didn't make sense. Almost like that's why the cops didn't put the scream with the missing case, if that makes sense. Um, her character goes to, um, not that's not saying she's guilty. It's almost like asking someone that drinks a lot, what did you hear? What did the person look like? Was there any identification marks on them? What car, what license plate, things like that. I don't think the cops found her too credible to ask, because I feel like they're saying um, that she might have been drinking or something. It's that kind of character reference, if you get what I'm trying to say. Um, I don't think. Um, I think. I think it was more of, I needed to get my. I don't want to say this because I feel like it's rude to say this. Um, it's almost like trying to scar her character to make her look like an alcoholic, and that she's not. Her information isn't trustworthy. Because uh, Rose keeps talking about going to her character and then drinking. So her actual drinking, if she's a drinker, is not helping the case, because the things that she's talking about, she talks about when she's probably drunk or not in the right state of mind. Um,
LE really working hard on this case is sheriff related to DW, the father. I don't like her and I don't feel I don't like her and I don't feel rude. um can you ask if Summer going missing was planned? Yes, that was planned. Um Colette, someone is layering sacrifice videos behind YouTubers' videos that are trying to solve the summer case. Who is doing that? Can you ask Rose, please? I'm not understanding what that question even means. What do you mean by layering sacrifice videos? As if someone's making it sound like she was sacrificed instead of the actual cause? Um, there's always a sense of people want to take things to the dark side. Yes, this case is super dark. I do believe she was badly hurt, and that's how she died. I do believe she's going to have this side of her face all damaged because I do believe that she was hit many times. I do believe she was restrained around her stomach area and something to do with her legs because I feel that pain, and I felt it so bad this week because I've been trying to do nothing but work on this case. Um, no, Rose is not in the cave, Becky. Why? Because I know this. I've already spoken to her prior to. Um, I, uh, like I said, I do believe, I'm trying to read the questions and get my point across. I do believe that there's a tremendous amount of darkness with this, but I do not believe that she was sacrificed. That didn't once come to me whatsoever. I do believe, people do dark things like that. People are, um, people do awful things like that I do believe in stuff like that. I do believe people do that. Absolutely. But I don't believe it has to do with Summer. I believe so, Robin. Or yes, Robin. Um, I can see one coincidence, but I can't see two. In the same family, direct family. No, that is not a coincidence. If you slow down videos, you will see children being hurt and adults in symbols in videos. Um, Understandable. Um, People that do that kind of thing, they're not going to want to put it out there in that manner that they do that because that's a very hush hush thing. Um, I understand that videos are put out. What are they called? Uh, I forget what kind of videos they're called, but there's a lot of different videos that are so twisted and sick on the internet. All you can do is report them and get them deleted. I do not believe Summer was a form of sacrifice, but yet there is children sacrifice. It's a very real thing. Yes. No, I do not believe they were going to travel with Summer. They had access to someone to come right to them. Because I want you to think about this. Traveling with Summer would have meant they had to have. Um, I see what you're saying. You mean before or after her missing? So if you're talking about before, as in as the act occurred, why would they take her to someone missing when they would have to just prove more time that they can't prove? So by leaving, I would have to have X because they can track GPS, they can track things of that nature. Why would they? Think about that. They weren't stupid. See, people think Don and Candace are these stupid back hill people. No, they're not stupid people. A lot of misconception is country folk are stupid. Country folk are very intelligent, very intelligent. You have to know how to live. You have to know how to support yourself, how to survive. That takes smarts. And trust me, Candace and Dad are very smart. They're not stupid. Candace is just making itself worse for herself because being on drugs, doing this, doing that. I mean, her sorrows come out when she drinks. Pay attention. Her sorrows come out when she punishes herself by doing awful things to herself, like drinking and drugs. Let's always listen to a drunk person because that's when the truth comes out. Or always listen to an angry person. That's when the truth comes out. Can you ask if Summer's going missing planned as of time she was born? I'm not sure what you mean by that question. Because again, she was sold. Very loud and clear. I can never, because this is what I'm telling you right now. Being sold, Rose is correcting you, Robin Dudley. Sold, not missing. When she references that, she's telling you she didn't go missing. She was sold. There's a difference. Going missing means an act of, accidental or purposely taken. To be sold is to be sold, a exchange of money. Yes, Sherry, a lot was accomplished tonight. And I can tell you that picture floored me. Floored me. Who knows what's going to happen with these people? Do you know what boggles my mind? Why weren't they arrested in the first place? Why weren't they arrested in the first place? What exactly is going on? I mean, is there someone? It's almost like, do you have to ask yourself this question? Are there police involvement in the trafficking? Is that why nothing has gotten done because they don't want to be exposed? That's how I have to think sometimes, because this is a clear-cut case of mind-boggling. When a child goes missing, the first people that are going to be interviewed are the parents as suspects. All the time. It does not matter who you are, you're going to be interviewed as a suspect. The first people that the cops will go to as suspects are the family, because 9 out of 10, it is the family, or the other half is a stranger. But in this case, they know they're not looking elsewhere for Summer because they already know. But the point of it is what's behind that? People at church are being found out cult-wise. This Lawson man, his son, is sleeping with underage girls. I want you to think about all the little aspects and the keys that are being finally put together, and nobody wants their business out. So if cops are involved, think about this. Am I saying cops are involved? No, this is my hypothetical. I'm not going to say Spirit said that. I'm going to say that's my hypothetical. Why are there no search warrants? Why are there no jail? I mean, even for the CPS abuse of the children, why weren't they arrested for that? Bring grandma in, she'll tell you everything. Excuse my language, I'm going to say this. I hardly ever swear in live. Bring her ass in, strap her to a polygraph, ask her some questions, let her know she has a right to take a deal, and it's the only deal she's going to get. They've been way too soft on these people, and I don't get why. Don't you think we've seen enough in court cases to where they go in deep with people against questioning them and more so letting them know we will find the evidence? It's really, really strange to me. Everything about this case is so weird. That's all I can say. Angels for Justice. I'm 100. Yes, I'm telling you, just something. Remember in the very first video, I said it's so much bigger than we all understand. That's because there's a little of this, there's a little of this, and it's all kicked under the rug and it's dirty. I don't trust anybody with my grandchildren. I don't trust anybody with my disabled son. It's how I feel. I've seen way too much of the stuff. Well, I'm going to be closing this live down in literally 2 minutes. I wanted to thank everybody for showing up. Um, you know what kills me about this? Every time I get to going to shutting a live down, some other energy wants to pop in and speak. I'm not sure. The word Cass, like not case, but Cass, like a name. You are so welcome. Don't forget Facebook. Oh, yes. I'm sorry. Yes. See, I get so sidetracked by trying to put my output in spirit. It's a lot. But this is my new space. Don't mind my little wires showing back there. That's my backdrop for my upcoming podcast. So this is just my little space. And for the members that I was telling about, the free giveaways that join for a membership, I'm giving away tarot cards, things like crystals. I make bath salts. I make all sorts of stuff. So I will be giving that away once a month in a free giveaway. Let me just get on here. And as you can see, my energy is different too, because I'm not in some clustered space outside in a comfortable area. I'm comfortable. So this is just, I'm going to get you to my, so, that would be, can you see it? It's so light. It's not my usual. I have to get used to this. I can't really show. Well, it's got like the mountains and the night sky, and it's got me, and that's really it. And it says my name. Um, okay. Excuse me. So I will also try to dim the lighting a little bit so you could see me in a lesser tone lighting. It's my first time on my desktop computer, so I did try my best for you guys. No, she definitely didn't, Colette, and I say that all the time when I see her face. It was just a thing waiting to happen. It was in the stars, and it's sick because that little girl could have survived with somebody else. Chase, come here. Want to say hi? Come on. Come here. Oh, my big boy. This is my cat, Chase. It's my big boy. He's got a big purr. I love you. He's such a mean, grumpy old man. Oh, Robin, that's what you were saying. It was planned for her birth. Um, how would I look at it that? She was doomed because she was a girl, yes. How doomed? I don't think it was that relevant at the time because all he saw was, oh, my ticket to whatever I want to do. And Candace, oh, I got to take care of this. I don't think Candace wanted a daughter from, I do know she did have other children, which clearly she doesn't have anymore. But he's my big purry guy. Um, Linda, I don't know why. Are you going under Rose or Sarah? because I changed my so you do all understand that I always this is not my real name. This is under assumed name for a reason, suspect reason why. In the Savannah Spurlock case, the murderer tried to find me through any means, through Facebook, through YouTube. So it was a very trying time. I had someone else that wasn't a suspect, but it was a stalker. So I had to just be done with the whole. I switch up for the reasons I do. Okay. Yeah. I just had a female trying to hunt me down, and I mean through people on my pages. Let's just say a lot of different ways. Yep. It's so here is psychic medium Sarah. So on my Facebook, I'm going to eventually change my Facebook too so it matches up. It's just I never give my real name ever. I mean, I'd love to share it, but unfortunately in this business I can't. Beth, you are awesome and have helped so much with Rose in the summer. Thank you for being. Well, I don't like to say me, but thank you, Beth. I say we all are because everybody is taking the time out of their day, and we're more of parents to Summer than her own parents have ever been. And let's not forget amazing Rose, who's giving us information left and right. Rose will also have her day, but instead she gave her time for Summer. I just wanted to put that out there. I didn't want anybody to say, because you have some really nasty people. I don't know if anybody saw that orb just a few seconds ago. You know, I've never seen trolls try to destroy lives or videos before, like I have in the Summers case. It's like people have just made pages so they can get attention for themselves. And you guys, anybody that knows me, I don't I try not to pop on as much as I have to here. But I do now because I've started something new with my page. I mean, I don't want anybody doing anything illegal on my behalf. I don't want any searches being done illegally. Any search should be done with some sort of proper authority, because if you find something, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. If you don't do it legally and anything is found, you will have Summer's case thrown out because it was tainted. Tracy D, I'm late to your channel. I don't understand who Rose is. I'll review other videos. Be my guest. You are more than welcome. Tony B, will I be doing any more lives? I will not be doing any more lives for probably like a week, a little more than a week. Not sure if in chat, but is picture of a I just caught 3 orbs on a picture in my kitchen. Oh, I bet they're all over. I think people miss oh, that was just dust. No, if you see it, you see it. Rose is Summer's aunt, yes. Appreciate Rose so much for being the strange thing is I don't even think Summer even understands that yet, that Rose is like her. And that should tell you the amount of surety. Like she doesn't even understand. She doesn't understand what's going on. She knows she went through some horrific things, but I don't think she understands Rose. What Rose is. Rose is a spirit, just like her. Thank you, angels, for justice. Thank you. Everybody says thank you, Rose. If you're still here with me, they want you to know that they're very appreciative of you. She says I wasn't perfect, but I loved my kids. Did she have kids? No, I don't think she had. Did she have kids? What is she talking about, kids? Unless she's saying I wasn't perfect, but I loved kids. I don't know if you guys want to check into that. She's referring to I wasn't perfect, but I loved kids, or I loved my kids. She did have kids. Okay. Tonya B. She did have kids. Okay. Um, Emily says yes, she had kids. Beth says too. She was married with kids. Okay. You're welcome. And Night Baker. I'm a little cold. I hope we got the person that, because this guy, I mean, to describe him and then to see the picture of him, to me that's this person. But this doesn't add up to me, because I want you to think about this. Where's a scraggler like him? And I mean this, I don't mean this in a bad way. Please don't assume that I mean because he looks poorly, he doesn't have money. Because I sometimes have to make sure I don't say these things the wrong way. Where did he get the kind of money for summer? So that means this goes into more, there's more to this. This is why Rose talked about a pattern, terror, group. So that tells me he works with somebody and helps in that way to get kids. Her husband filed for divorce soon after Rose went missing. I hope Rose can feel the love that we have for little Miss Summer and her. I do believe she knows now that she's appreciated. Before, not so much, because I've never heard of Rose Bly until Summer Wells, and it's really crappy that two beautiful souls from the same family missing, no body, no coverage, really. I mean, I don't think I've seen coverage on her in a while. Yes, more people are involved. I plan on it, but then again, I've also studied him prior to seeing him, describing him, knowing he something to do with oil, which tells me he's either like working with like I don't want to say grease monkey and make someone feel offended. Somebody that works with cars or oil or bikes, and he's tall, he's skinny, he's well known in the area, he has a criminal record. I pulled a lot from this man in the vision. He was into meth. Please, can you ask if Rose Grandis knows that man? Robin, yes, Grandis knew him. Drugs. I don't know why your name was mentioned, Emily. What male spirit is passed on in your family? How do you connect with the male energy? I'm assuming he's from your mother's side. Are you still on here? Emily Fulkerson. Who is the male from your mother's side that is passed on? I heard your name loud and clear, Emily. But when it comes from this side, it would be a male energy. And then I hear mom, so he's telling me he's from your mother's side of the family. Very specific name, Emily. My nephew. Oh, okay. Okay. Stopping in. So he's letting you know he's here. Um, okay. I'm kind of confused by this. He talks about I know, like I know about something. Can you reference what that means? I know. Like he knows what about a situation. Does he know? I assume that he died in war of some sort. Um, I know I'm probably going to say this all wrong. Did he die in a? There's a certain kind of I want to say a bombing of some sort, but they call it a small word. Um, if you can pop on here, if you all know what I'm talking about, it's in war. There's a small word for a bombing of a group of people. He was 20. Yeah. Um, yes, Midnight Baker, IED. Was this a something to that nature? I sometimes I get tired and I can't think straight. You have to excuse me. Um, an IED is a form of he died from an ID in a Hummer. Okay, okay, okay. I was trying to get that out and I didn't know how to reference it to you because he said, but how I heard it was a little different. So I was trying to figure out the word he was trying to give me. Um, but I'm not sure what he meant by I know. I know. Right. Um, I don't know really where to go with this. Um, did he have a girlfriend? Yes. As I always say in my lives, there is somebody that always brings someone together. And I just said this the other day in my life. Um, spirits bring each other together. I'm kind of confused where what he's talking about. He knows. Um, okay, so my first thought process was, what is he talking about? This is me, not him saying this. I want to know if there was a girlfriend and maybe he thought, there was something like maybe she was pregnant or something. That's my thought process on it. But maybe you understand what that means then. I know, as in he's saying, I know. So I'm not sure what that means to you, but if you know, you can just say yes, and you don't have to say what it means. You don't ever have to give out that kind of information. Thank you, Christy. Do you want to say anything to him, Emily? You are able on here to give him a message. You remember, you can say it to him without even saying it on here. You are connected to spirit. Good night, Crystal. Of course it does. And maybe that's what he's referring to then. I know. Because he doesn't want you to put his situation with your son's. That makes a whole lot of sense what he means by that. I know. But you have to also understand now, your son has a special guardian now, and that would be him. So he's going to do everything in his power to watch over him. Okay, everybody. Well, we did a live for quite a while. Not only that, we just gave someone a beautiful message from someone that was, in much need of a message from a passed on loved one. To be that specific, when spirit comes to me, this is how I know. So when people ask me, why do I do this? Why do I look back? It's because spirit will speak to me from the left and the right. And just as you saw, Rose spoke to me from the right, and her her spirit that came through for Emily was male, but the very specifics of it was from the mother's side of the family. Now, to be that specific, they want you to know that reason so you can identify them exactly who it is. That is not an easily thing. It's not an easy thing to do for me, but they know in order for me to tell them, they need to give me more information. Yes. I tried to get my last life on for the chats that I just did a couple days ago. Great messages were given in that too. A husband came through. Quite a few people came through for the members only live. Very sweet messages that came through for a lot of people. I'm going to try to get the chat on so people can read the chats if they like. I'm going to leave here and I'm going to go work on that for a minute and then I'll be done. So everybody, it was a great night. I hope we got a lot of information that makes a lot of sense. I know I can ramble, but I know a lot of people have questions and I have to answer them. In due time, we will get answers as much as we can. So we have to be diligent in asking the bigger questions first and asking the smaller ones that will fit to the puzzle. You are very welcome. I will be doing this again. I just don't know when yet. I will put it up. You have to go to the community post on my page so you can actually see when lives are going to be, when videos going to be put up, things of that nature. You won't see it unless you go to the community icon on my page. Okay, everyone. I'm not sure, Emily, if this is still for you. What's the letter L mean? I'm going to say this for you because I feel like it's still coming from my male side. Emily, what does L mean to you? The letter L. And I made it in a cursive way as well. I'm not sure why I'm doing it that way. What's the letter L mean to you in cursive? I'm not sure. Okay. Think about it. And when we get on the next live, I'm sure you're going to be able to know why that is. I get it all the time. Some people, something doesn't fit something small, and they're going to know exactly what that is. I don't know how many of you people on here have seen me do that. And then you come back and tell me, oh, I know what it is. A lot of people do that. Okay. The word law mean anything to you, Emily? Because I'm hearing the word law now. I'm not sure if someone's going to take a career in law or something to that nature. I'll wait a second before I shut it down and see if that's an answer for you. No? Okay. I'm not sure. That's me putting it there. I don't know. Please do, when you find out what that L is about, let me know. That way we can have our maybe haha moment about it. Like, oh, that's what he was talking about. It's all the time. They have their little haha moments with us. Okay, everybody? So, everybody, good night. I will be back on. I do a free reading once a month. The one I'm going to be doing is for, I bet, I already figured out the person I'm going to be doing it for. Her name is Nikki. She was actually on the live tonight. Waiting for a good day to do it. Free reading just is. They have a ability to do a live with me or just have a video on YouTube, and we go from there. It's a free reading, as in I don't know how many people can see this orb right now. How many of you just saw this orb that was right there? I'm going to go back to this video towards the very end, 317, probably 317:30, I would say, 30 or 35. Clear as day, right here, it was floating. I will do a free reading once a month. It gives in-depth reading to whoever comes through at the time for that person, just like I did here tonight, but it's in more detail. Usually spirits, when they know I'm going to be closing down, they'll try to give me something very quick. And if I'm going to look at that, I want to see if he was the one. Okay. So yes, I do get quick information towards the end because they want to hurry up and pop on and see what they can say to me to see whose attention they can get. You saw it, Emily? Okay. And it just so happens to be on the side he was on. That's the one thing you'll notice in my videos or lives. You will see things like that when I'm talking to spirit. On which side I'm talking to, you're going to see that you're going to see an orb. You might see something moving in the background. You actually put headphones on and you might actually get an actual voice in the background. Remember, spirit is very hard to hear now for people, but if you put headphones on, they're on a level, they're on a plane that only can be heard through recordings. Gina, you saw it too? Okay. Come on, Chase, we're calling it a night. All right, everybody. It was great to see everybody. I'll be back on when I can. Go to the community. I'm not sure if you saw it yet. Go to my community post. Check that frequently because you will see any updates there. To the people that want to join and don't know how to join memberships, I think I'm just going to do a video so you get it. Some people are able to join. Some people are having a hard time. I don't know why. But I will pop up on here quickly and do a video, and you guys can just go follow the detail. And you can just join from there, okay? I hope everybody had a great night. I hope we did a lot of work together, and I hope, we made progress on knowing the facts to this. The picture kind of gives me pause. And how is he connected to the trafficking ring? That's what I want to know. Oh, there it goes. See it? See it? Right there. There it goes. Disappeared. So he's definitely trying to get Emily's attention. He wants this to be known. Pay attention. You are very welcome, Emily. Got me looking now. I am working from my desktop now, so just bear with me until I get the hang of, doing the lives with my desktop. Oh, hi, Adam. That's what she said to you. He called you mom, didn't he? Did he ever call you mom? Or maybe he's saying she's like my mom, or I called her mom. Yes, okay. Because mom was said, and I wasn't sure if he called you mom or he's saying she's like my mom. Actually, my sacred path, darling, we are closing this down. We are well going into 4 hours for this live, and I have to get to bed. I have to go cleanse my energy and I have to ground myself. So this happens quite a bit. Towards the end of our lives, we will, end up getting somebody that comes through and wants to sneak a message through. So always pay attention at the end because you never know who it's going to be. Emily's name was called out loud and clear to me, so I knew exactly who to look for. I just wasn't sure if there was more than one Emily. So I had to be very vigilant in making sure there was only one of you. So definitely good night. I will see you all. Pay attention to the community posts, okay? Have a great night, everybody.